Hey y'all.
Welcome to another episode of
Love Seed Dialogue.
Look, it's been a long time. I know y'all wondering what they've been up to. Been up to a lot,
Whole lot.
whole lot. But we excited. We got some new plans, some new content coming to you guys very, very soon. More consistently. But before we go into that, how you doing, babe?
I'm pretty good. I'm glad it's the weekend.
You glad it's the weekend?
yes. What about you?
Same.
Okay.
I'm good. It's been a long, busy week.
Yeah.
I had a good time with my brothers last night, though.
Okay.
Had a chance to fellowship with some other brothers and dive into the Word of God,
Okay.
talk a little bit, and you know how the word say, "Iron sharpens iron."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we was building each other up. We was actually studying the text, studying 2 Samuel about David,
Okay.
trying to see with all the flaws that David had, how was he the apple of God's eye? You know, how was he a man after God's own heart? Right? With all of his imperfections. So studying that, and we had a great time diving into that word last night. So
That's good stuff.
that was a blessing.
Well, I didn't do anything last night. While he was away, I just relaxed. I needed that.
But you fresh off a birthday, right?
Fresh off a birthday.
Fresh off the birthday. What we call the what?
The Great 48.
How you feel?
How
you feel about all the love you got on social media?
It was wonderful, y'all. I appreciate all the love, all the texts, all the calls. I always say it's overwhelming because it's like people that you don't talk to normally. And I know Facebook reminds you, but it's easy to scroll past, right? So it's a blessing just that person took the time to stop and took 30 seconds out of their busy day to tell you happy birthday. That means a lot. So yeah, it was great.
That's good. That's good. Outside of social media, how was everything?
Everything was good. My daughter actually came down a couple of weekends before, took me on a spa day. We got massages, facials, and just hung out.
That's good.
And then of course,
Mommy
my
daughter
hubby
day.
over here, yeah. You know, he does it big. He act like I'm the one that does it big, but no. He show out sometimes. So.
I show out sometimes.
Yeah.
So you had a great birthday then.
Wonderful birthday. This year I didn't want to do anything. I told him, I said, I don't want to do nothing. Everybody kept asking me, because normally my birthday is a month-long holiday.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
All month. not just every weekend either, but sometime weekdays included, all month.
But yeah, this year I didn't really want to do too much. I really can't put my finger on it. I'm just going through some transitional stages in my life and trying to figure out, I was thankful, first of all, that my birthday fell on Good Friday.
Okay.
So I just wanted to bask in that and kind of horn in on God's love and his sacrifice for me.
Yeah.
And what was done on the cross. And in doing that, I kind of started to think about sacrifice and what it means. And some people say they sacrifice, but really don't.
Okay.
And some people have their own way of sacrifice. And so for me, I feel like I sacrifice a lot. But not the way that God did for me. So I'm trying to figure out how to sacrifice for myself. And what I mean by that is spending more time for myself, making myself important.
Yeah.
Learning how to say no and mean no without feeling like I have to be obligated to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't do New Year resolutions, but I will do something that I want to change for my birthday year. So I don't thank God for a new year because, we don't know what God's plans are for us.
Yeah.
But I do try to focus on something that I can do different. So, yeah.
Okay.
Just focusing on...
So you're not saying you're dialing back from celebrating all month, are you? Or are you?
Not forever.
Yeah, just where you're at right now.
Yeah, just where I'm at right now. I'm doing a new thing. I don't have to always be turned up.
Yeah. Well, you turn up
and
different anyway. We don't turn up the way
no,
people say turn up.
no, we don't do it like
No,
that.
we don't do it like that. So,
And then for me, it would be different if I just celebrated my birthday big. I celebrate everybody's birthday big.
this is true.
So our grandson's birthday is coming up next, May 4th, but my mom's is coming up before his, May 1st. And
Yeah.
she's actually coming to visit, so I'm in the works of planning both birthdays at the same time. So, and I know I'm saying sacrifice for myself, and I'll get to that, but
Yeah.
I still like to see that big smile on everybody's face
Yeah.
when it's their time.
Yeah, you really have to, we, people in general, all of us really have to make time for ourselves, right?
We do.
We got each other, and, you know, real love is selfless, it's thinking about the other person. At the same time, we have to have balance to that, right?
Absolutely.
Because you can't be good for me if you're not good for you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we got to take time for our mental health,
Mm-hmm.
physical health, and whatever that means. It might mean we need to work out a little bit. It might mean we need to find a way to meditate on God's word, quiet our minds, quiet our life,
Mm-hmm.
which means removing some things off our plate. Because sometimes I can find myself personally doing way too much, always busy. Got a meeting here, got a job to do here, an obligation here, you know, and next thing I know, the whole month gone, and I really didn't set any time or carve out anything to hone in on some of my personal goals, or just my gift and creativity.
Yeah.
You know, pushing that to the side because I'm doing other things. So, yeah, sometimes we got to take things off our plate so we can get focused on who God called us to be. And at the same time, have peace in our life and not be so busy all the time. Even God rested.
Yes, he
You know, I always got to be, I got to remind myself of that. That he created the world 6 days and he rested. Not because he needed rest, but to set an example and a precedence that, hey, you got to have time to rest. So we're back. We're back with another episode, and we just want to talk to y'all because, like I said when we started this, we got some plans for some content coming. We want to do a series called Marriage Matters.
Yes, I am so excited about this series.
Marriage Matters, y'all.
Yes.
And I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a 5 or 7 part series, but not going to put a number on it just yet. But it's just know that it's going to be a series. And each episode, it'll be under an hour. We're trying to shoot for about 30 minutes. Just to talk about certain subjects to what makes a successful marriage. Right? That's what we want to talk about. And my heart goes out for marriages because I'm seeing marriages fail. I'm seeing some people making it harder than what it actually is.
Yeah.
And it is hard, don't get me wrong, marriages work. But I'm seeing marriages fail that don't have to fail. That breaks my heart because a lot of us was raised to believe that marriage is not important or a two-family household is not important. And I just want to tell you guys that is a lie. From the pits of hell, as our grandparents would say. But it is a lie for real. And I was one of those that really didn't believe that. How do you feel about the series? You said you're excited about it?
Man, I'm super excited because I too see a lot of marriages failing. People going through unnecessary things. And people not sharing with others what they're going through until it's way too late.
Right.
And I'm always thinking like, man, I wish we had got a hold of that a
Which
long
we
time
have
ago,
known, right?
Yeah, we went through that too. Why didn't you say something?
Right.
So yes,
Exactly.
I am just so elated about this series because I know that it's going to bless so many people. So we want y'all to like, share, watch it again and again. We don't know where this is going, but we know what we want to do.
Right.
We know what we were told to do. So, yeah.
And we're not going to dive into the real meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about this episode, but we are going to give you some hints of what we'll be talking about. But right now, I just want to talk a little bit about what qualifies us to talk about it.
Yeah.
What qualifies us to do a series like this? Because not everybody who will see this will maybe be familiar with us. So, I'm Will. They call me Pud in the streets or before. But a lot of people call me Will. This is my wife, Demeter.
Yes.
And Demeter, how long we been together this year?
This year is 2024. It'd be 32 years. We made 32 years this year.
32 years this year.
February 19th.
Being together.
Married.
Married will be
21.
21 years this year married. We have a daughter that is turning 30 years old, 4th of July. We're also fairly new grandparents. Our grandchild will be 3 years old. Right? So we've been together for a long time. I've seen many different phases and sides of her. She's seen many different versions of me. Many. So I like to say you don't get this far along without any storms, without any trials and tribulations. We've been through some stuff. And a lot of things that we went through didn't have to go through if we understood the way to have healthy conversation. So healthy communication is very important, and being transparent in our communication. So we learned that along the way. We learned the benefits of having a strong community behind us, marriage community. See, a lot of times when we get married, we have a lot of people that we invite to be a part of our marriage party. Bridesmaids, groomsmen, and people who we invite to be a part of the audience in that party. Those are our close-knit family and communities that a lot of us invite to our weddings. But we leave out of our wedding when we're having difficulties and problems, when some of those people that you invited to be a part of that party should be front and center trying to figure out, okay, what's going on when you guys are having an issue, when you guys are going through something. If not somebody in the party, somebody in your church family, we all need a community to stand with us, right? So we definitely want to speak to the importance of that.
Yeah, I just want to say everything he said was right. We didn't necessarily have that community around us, but we did have our mothers praying for us, and that was important. So that's what I believe has kept us as long as it has. And learning your partner is an ongoing thing, right? You won't ever stop learning your partner if you're really studying.
Right. If you're paying attention, right?
Yeah, we change every 7 years. Things that I liked 2 years ago or 7 years ago, I don't like anymore. Things I was interested in, I'm not. And so, same thing with him. So, like I said, I'm just excited. I can't wait to dive into some of the things that we talked about.
Yeah, because marriage is about growing. It's about maturing. It's about weaving, because God is weaving two people into one.
That was good, man.
Weaving. So he's joining two people together to make them one flesh. That's what marriage is about. So it's always, if we're doing this thing the right way and we're doing it a healthy way, we're growing closer to one another, not further apart.
Right.
So many couples are growing further apart because they're not humbling themselves and taking the time to get to know the other person and having that honest conversation when problems arise. Or they just turning off their interest and affection altogether and going in a totally different direction, not caring what happened to the marriage.
Yeah.
And then when it all blows up in somebody's face, then it gets ugly and it gets messy, and sometimes it spills onto social media when it's a problem, when it could have been prevented, when it was just a minor spark, not a whole fire yet, right? Not a flame. But when it was sparking, it could have been put out. But it got to be done respectfully. Yeah. It got to be done with transparency. It got to be done with the intent to fight for the marriage.
We're on the same team.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
on the same team.
so yeah, these are some of the things we want to talk about. How to stay together, and why marriage matters. Who marriage matters to. The benefits of a healthy marriage. We want to talk about all of these things. Healthy communication, respect, love. So we're looking forward to chopping this up with you guys real soon in a series called Marriage Matters. And I think we told you why we're qualified to talk about it. You know how long we've been together. You know how long we've been married. We've also had the pleasure to help counsel some marriage couples before they got married. We attended marriage counseling before we got married on our own. Yeah. We did that. We're leaders in our church regarding the marriage ministry. We got a solid team. I know she mentioned that we didn't have a community behind us, but we do now.
Yes, we
And
do.
we have had for some years now. And we're part of a solid marriage ministry and a group of people who love their wives, love their husbands. And when we do get together, we're transparent about, you ought to hear the struggles that come up in the room.
Yeah.
You know, you ought to hear or see the tears shed sometime when the honesty and the breakthrough happens, and when somebody just admit small things like admitting that I was wrong in this area.
Yeah.
You know, if I was to say, if we were to do this series some years back, we wasn't ready to do it.
No.
We wasn't ready to do it. You know, because we was still going through things ourselves. And not to say that our marriage is perfect now, because it's not. But we got the tools. We got the tools to make a peaceful and a happy marriage. And not only the tools, we got the source in the center of our marriage, the one who created marriage. You know what I mean? So we're not walking away from that. We're keeping that source, which is Christ, in the center. So I believe that, like she said, this series is going to bless some people. If you're listening, make sure if you plan on watching it, share it, like it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Marriage Matters, y'all.
Yeah, so of course, as you're watching it, we will ask you to put your comments in the comment section.
That's right.
Email us if you want to talk to us personally. We are always willing to do that.
Right. We'll put the email address on the screen.
Yes. Marriage is it means so much to us because with marriage comes family. And family is important to God. And so.
And listen, y'all, I've been talking like this for a few years now, but this is all brand new to me because I wasn't raised to know what marriage was all about. To be honest with you, I wasn't, because I really didn't see. I didn't have a front row seat to healthy marriages when I was young. I knew that my next door neighbors, their name were the Stearns when I was growing up.
Okay.
I know they was married. My oldest uncle on my mother's side, he married his high school sweetheart, but they moved to South Bend. So I really didn't see what marriage was like from that end, and I really didn't get no conversation from my uncle about what to expect, what not to expect, and nothing. So, but I did get a distrust for women, honestly, from what I seen in the street. See, I come from the hip hop era of let a hoe be a hoe, B is a B, gangster love, B's ain't ish but hoes and tricks. But I would be dishonest if I was to tell you that those songs influenced me. I liked those songs because I was already in agreement to the message that they had. That's who I was at that time. Because I was raised to not trust women, not trust a woman. I had a cousin who walked the streets. And I need to share this with you guys. I had a cousin who walked the streets, and on the outside looking in, people called him crazy because he just laughed and he was always jovial and smiling. All of this, and he laughed about everything, but he was homeless and he was an alcoholic. And me as a young kid, I thought he was crazy too. Yeah. But I got wind of his backstory, right? Mm-hmm. This brother was married, successful. He worked in a steel mill, so he had a full-time job, steel mill, making good money. He had a wife, 2 kids, happy family, right? So he thought. One day he came home from the mill and his family was gone. Found out that his wife ran off with his best friend. Kids took him and left the state. I don't know where they went really, but they left the state, left him all by himself, and he lost everything, including his mind. Wow. So me hearing that story as a young kid, me seeing my father not committed to one woman, and no knock on my dad neither, but just me seeing him not married, not committed to a woman, my uncle, his brother, not committed to a woman at that time, and me just in the street hearing and seeing you can't trust women, and I'm gonna be a player for life, hearing this. And when I got my first win of this hip hop music that I was listening to, we like what we relate to. Yeah. So I related to that music. It spoke to me. That music didn't influence me. I was already in agreement with the message. So that's the mindset that I come from. And with that mindset, I never seen myself married in my life. But when I did get married, and when I did decide that I was going to do this thing the right way, because I was the type of person that say, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this one time. Right? So I'm going to try to give it my all and do it the right way. And it started off kind of reckless. Nothing changed. And we'll get into it as the series starts, but nothing changed probably the first few years. She'll probably say longer. At least the first 2 years, nothing changed. Then gradual little changes started to happen. But real change didn't happen until I surrendered to the Lord and decided I was going to do this thing the right way. Then I started seeing the benefits of marriage, the blessings of marriage. And I started realizing that as a young black man, and black men in general, and now black women, we're being lied to. Mm-hmm. We're being lied to. We think that marriage is unhealthy. It's a distraction from our personal goals. Mm-hmm. But marriage is a blessing in God's eyes. You're more focused when you're married. Children, statistically, are better when they come from a healthy family, 2-parent household. Yeah. I didn't come from a 2-parent household. Came from a 1-parent household. So I came from a broken home, what we would call it today. Mm-hmm. But now as generations have progressed, now we're looking at broken families. Yeah. So it's not just a broken home. It's not just the home that's broken nowadays. We have broken families. So marriage is just one of those things that we put these pieces back together and start creating strong black families again and strong families in general. So I just wanted to include that before we start going to this next series. Anything you want to say before we end it, babe?
I want to say I didn't come from a 2-parent household either. Grew up in a home with my mother, grandmother, and my great-grandmother, so 3 very strong black women. Okay. And they raised us to be strong black women. But unlike him, I always desired to be married because my great-grandmother was married to my grandfather until he died. They were married for over 50 years. Wow. So I did see the marriage representative in my home.
Yes, okay.
While he was listening to hip-hop, I'm a music head too. Yeah. So I always love music, and so I always loved to love. And like most little girls grew up wanting that fairy tale wedding and wanting to be married.
I
So
was just gonna say that it's naturally for little girls to have Barbie dolls and plan weddings and to pretend, um, and planning weddings and all that stuff. And then it's natural for boys to run around with toy guns and cap guns and play cops and robbers and all of this stuff. So we're kind of raised, at least in our community, to go in different directions.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're raised to be about our money. You guys are raised to be about family, which is actually the right thing, the right way, right? So we can be about our finances and all of that, entrepreneurship, education, all of that, but without family, without unity, without that family structure, that strong foundation, it's going to be harder to harder. I didn't say impossible, but harder to have a successful life, to have children that are confident, successful, and at ease. We get more into the meat and the potatoes when we start talking about the series. But
yeah. It's hard not to do it now
Yeah.
because there's so much that we want to say.
yeah,
But we're not gonna keep y'all long. We just want to come on and talk about the series that's coming up and
That's right.
get y'all just as excited about it as we are.
and not only like and comment and share with somebody who can use anything we say, right, in the future. Not only do that, but send us questions
Yes,
or
please,
topics
please.
or struggles you guys might be dealing with or dealt with in the past,
so
right?
we can talk about
So
it.
we can talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to put your name in our conversation
Yeah.
if you don't want, and we probably won't anyway. But unless you really want us to bring it up, but send us questions
Yeah.
or topics.
We can even do like a fishbowl, maybe. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. But
Yeah, because we got concrete topics that we're going to cover.
yes.
But if you guys send something interesting enough, juicy enough, something we didn't think about, something that we feel like needed to be addressed,
Yeah.
we will do that also as well.
Yeah.
So definitely
Yeah.
do that.
So yeah, y'all. We excited. I know I keep saying I'm excited, but I am so excited. And we'll see y'all soon. Thank you for tuning in again today.
Yes.
And welcome to another episode of Love Seat Dialogue.
Later, y'all. Peace.